Let me just see. How do I look at who is in the room? Let's just see quickly. It should become a co-host automatically. Yes, our facilitator is here this afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, I would love to welcome our masterclass speaker for this afternoon, Mr. Talifani Banks, who is a group CEO at Analytics. He's also an entrepreneur of the year from on the BRICS nation, the best tech CEO in Africa, a well-seasoned entrepreneur, and somebody who is very passionate about growing the future generation of entrepreneurs in Africa and as a whole. I understand that we have my colleagues from all over the world that are joining, that are on this platform as well as on Facebook. And we will share the recording. It should be available on Monday if I don't get it done this weekend. Without any further ado, Mr. Banks, you have the floor, sir. Thank you for being here, and thank you for allowing us to suck into your wisdom and you sharing the next best ways we can actually use technology to grow our business. Over to you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you clearly.
Okay, so if there's any glitches on electricity and stuff like that, you understand we are living in the continent. Thank you, firstly, everyone who's in the meeting. I appreciate your time, and I always want to be an ambassador of telling the truth and talking about how we can leverage technology to grow in the continent. It's been clear over the years that the continent is rich and wealthy with everything, but we are always behind because we don't get to use the technology to enhance our production. That's why our productions are always behind and can't compete. It's not saying that we can't produce the best technology, we can't produce the best products. It's always that we can't compete to produce massive units in real time like other global markets. And how do we get to that level? We need to now educate ourselves to the new technologies that can advance the process. And that's the point of this conversation. Maybe before I talk about some technologies that I believe can help your business, I'm gonna tell you about myself. I'm coming from here in South Africa, and I got into business very early. When I was growing up, my mother introduced me to business, but it was not formal business, it was basic survivalist business. But it taught me instinct, it taught me belief and understanding that what you're doing is serious. So after corporate and graduating from University of Pretoria and all that process, after 5 years of working, I decided to quit corporate and start a business. And my first business that I built was analytics advertising, which is now 8 times award-winning company, and is making trends continentally and global, in the sense that we are creating huge partnership. We just had a new partnership with Huawei now. In the morning, I had a meeting with MTN, Momo app. We're doing a lot of partnerships, and it's based on the journey we have taken. We also have a partnership with Pick and Pay for the new stuff that we will be doing. But when I started, it was not the same. I had the same challenges as any entrepreneur. You put in some money and you invest on some equipment, invest on some things that you believe will make you money. And in most cases, whatever you buy to enhance whatever your business or to kickstart what you're trying to do is not enough, because the business plan that you have drawn is not exactly what that is going to take you there. And you learn in the business that you have to adapt to new ways of doing business. And as you adapt to new ways of doing business, you realize that you don't have money anymore and things like that. So I went through that process. But what I've also learned, which is key, is that business is made out of connection, organic, true connection. It's made out of energy. When you connect with people, people can transfer you money. What I mean by that is you have to build relationships that are strong, that are that are of people who are doing similar things or who are vibrating on the same similar quadrant or similar vibration. That's what allows you to be yourself and perform your part. As you do that, you will meet people who are willing to transact and work with you. That's the basics heart of creating any business. Why I'm saying this is I can talk about all the nice technologies. If we are not getting these basics right, you'll always be like, I don't think what is shared works. What I'm trying to say is money is energy, and energy comes from people, and people gives you money if you are connected to them organically, like true connection. And how you grow and how you scale comes from those type of people multiplying across the continent, across global markets. You can have the same people in one specific place, and that's how you will grow, but you will only grow within that space. And that's why most businesses, they are only existing within a certain region, is because within their network and their audience, they exist within that. That's their ecosystem. My ecosystem mentally and everywhere when I'm moving, it's always continental and global. So I need to make perfect energies and perfect connections that allows me to connect global and connect global as a region. So I look at global markets as a one region that I'm operating in. And that's what makes me stand out in the markets that I'm working on. And why I'm saying that is the partnership I have now with Huawei was not going to be possible if I was only operating in South Africa. But because I'm continental, I've got databases and data of large corporations that we're working on allows the partnership to happen. Now that we've got a new products, Spaza Eats and Jammy Trays that are now making trends as new products in the South African economy, that's what adds value to that. So as I begin to talk about what we need to leverage on, we need to understand that those basics needs to be identified. If you are going to be a continental business, you need to build continental network and build continental relationships that have strong energy that will help you to be. Now you've got different businesses is existing, you are in the market. How do you leverage technology to scale? And there's other platforms that we can talk about that can help you scale. But if you're not going to compete with global markets in production, you don't have business. Even if you are doing well, you don't have business. You only have business when you have an advantage, competitive advantage. And our biggest competitive advantage will be the ability to use technology to compete. Why I'm saying this is whatever industry you're in, whether you are in logistics, whether you are in farming or retail, manufacturing, if you are not adapting to the technology that will allow you to scale, you won't compete. You won't have a competitive advantage because some guy is producing 100 units per minute. You are using human factor. You are producing 100 units per day or per 2 days. You can't compete. This guy is doing it per minute. So you need machines and equipments that allows you. What I'm trying to say right now, beyond equipments, there's digital platforms we can leverage to increase our audience, increase demand. I know that there's so many things I want to say, but I want to say it in a way that you get me across. So to increase production and increase demand, you need to increase your customer base and things like that. So we need to leverage technology of networking. The platforms that are existing now, the Facebook, the social platforms that allows us to network. That's one of the first technology that we can use to increase demand of what we are selling. And there's so many things I can say around that. There's so many things around marketing and things that you can leverage. But I want to focus on organic stories. Just narrating your story within those platforms can get you audience and can get your product to be recognized. If you can increase audience in that market, that means you can find the ways to increase production within your business. Within ourselves, word of mouth is still powerful, but how far can you go? I'm speaking now to different people who are in Nigeria, India. I have to be in platforms that allows me to be beyond my region, beyond my South Africa, beyond Africa. And I need to leverage technologies and platforms that are existing. And through these networking platforms, such as LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter, and them, you get to talk what you do, and you get to showcase how far your business can go. You get to leverage and get people to talk about what you're doing. and you get to go beyond borders, beyond region. And that, for me, it's creating market demand. When you have demand, it does not matter whether you have equipments. It does not matter whether you have machines to produce. If you have demand, you can collaborate with the manufacturer to make a product for you that you will sell and produce at an affordable rate and share the profit. But it does not mean that you're doing that forever. And I've always seen this, people want to start from manufacturing all the time. They want to start from production all the time. They haven't created the marketing. They haven't created the demand. They are not known in the market, but they want to invest on equipments, machines. That's how you spend 6 months without sales. And that's how you start saying business does not work, it's not for me. In fact, this thing is not for, it's for certain people, it's about network, it's about people know each other, they only work within each other. We are all interconnected. If you present yourself in a way that people can get to know you, anybody can make money. That's why you see the influencers. Most of those influencers and music makers, some of them didn't go to school. So it defies qualification, defies anything else that you may think that this guy is smarter than me. What they have done, which is smarter, they've increased the demand. And once you have demand, you can create collaborations for supply. Can we start from that angle? If you want to be a farmer, can we start from there? Can we start from the relationships with the retailers, with the buyers, with the demand? Can we increase the demand on our platforms? And that's how you get to that level. And now when we're talking about increasing demand and increasing opportunities, what are technologies that we can use to increase communication? There's photographers, there's all of these things, and producers and videographers in it. But what I've learned through AI technology, you can edit videos automatically without really relying on a person who's doing it every day. So which means that you don't have to rely on a specific person who's doing the work every day. You can get an AI tool that helps you with design, helps you with editing your video, helps you with communicating your design and things like that. Why I'm talking about this part, it's so key that when you are increasing demand, you leverage new AI technologies that will automate the process without you having to employ a designer, a videographer, and things like that. There's a platform called Video, VIDYO, that you can use to edit videos automatically using AI. That platform, you don't need a video editor, video what. You just need to take a video with your phone about your product, about your business, and then push it through. It edits everything for you. Those are type of AIs we can use to increase communication, increase demand. Now, when you get into the business, a lot of businesses struggle to scale because a lot of processes that they are using, they are still very much manual. You are still applying manual work. There's no system thinking. There's no system that you are using to leverage ways of work and automating processes. We have different technologies in our business, but one of the technology that I can advise is it's project management technology. You can use things called technologies like Slack, Trello, and others that can allow you to automate process of work. You don't have to be working with everyone everywhere. You can have continental people working with you in different parts of the continent, and they are doing their job. You monitor each other, you monitor the threads, what you're doing per day based on the project management system. If you log into Slack and you start designing work and categorizing work, you don't have to be working from one region. You don't have to be in one place. So I know for other businesses, you are limited by resources, you are limited by your type of business, maybe it's manufacturing and mining, but you don't have to have your business developers, your marketers in one place. They can be operating from different places. What I'm trying to say is automating the process of project management can allow you to automate your income, because most of the time we make what according to how much we can give and how much we are productive. But we can be 3 times, 10 times productive if we leverage technology. What I'm saying is these things that don't need human factor anymore, and human factor is still demanded, but for other things. So for the projects and works that won't need human factor, or that you feel like you can automate the process of communication? Can we use technology on that so that you have time to increase and automate your business? In our business as a technology company, Analytics X, we deal with enterprises, we deal with partners, clients, and things like that. And we have got teams from South Africa, Botswana, Zimbabwe, and outside. But we are all centralized when it comes to this one platform. Allows us to push work within real time. And this is one thing that I believe, if we can start leveraging technology, we'll get to automate our business and start making more than what we make now. There's more I can share. I was trying to build up, but if there's any questions, I'm here to take on.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Banks. I have people who actually cannot hear you from Twitter for some odd reason. They can see your face, but they just can't hear you. I'm just trying to fix that. We do have a question already, by the way. Of Facebook, how do you find this automated system? It's two questions, but I'll make them one. How do you find automated systems if you're a small business, and how do you get the channels that will make you acquire more customers? Sorry, I can't read my own handwriting.
Yeah. Okay, I understand. Let me be honest, guys. Business was never obvious for all of us. It's not an open book. What we read in school most of the time does not work. In most cases, it's in London, and then you bring it to Bree and MTN, it might not work. I understand that. But we need to get ourselves immersed into learning, and learning not only books, but there's new ways to learn these days. We don't have to be reading books all the time. Yes, we have to read books, but there's audios that we can listen to. What I can say that where you can find that technology, immerse yourself on YouTube. Go to YouTube and say, automated project management system or project management system that I can use in my small business. They're going to recommend you Slack, Monday.com, this and that. Try them for 30 days. There's a free trial for 30 days. Try which one would work for you. If it's not working, you can cancel the account, move to the next one. That's for project management. For communicating, because most of the time, you know, I got all those click happener. These days, because of our scalability, I get to meet a lot of successful entrepreneurs, successful businesses, successful owners. Their language is different from how we vibrate. We are talking from lack. We talk from trying. These guys, even if they are trying, they talk from, I already have it. So what I'm trying to say is we need to immerse ourselves in communication in a way that you are communicating as if you already have it. You are not communicating as if you are trying, you are asking, because in most cases, when you are trying to increase demand, most of you, when you communicate as if, help me, please support me. You're not trying to support. You're not trying to get a support. You're solving a problem. Money follows solution. You're trying to solve a problem. So is your business designed to solve any problem? If yes, talk the problem you're solving every day. That's how you build the demand. That's how you increase network. That's how you increase demand for your business. Most cases, when we go out and talk, we are asking, we are begging, we are trying to prove that my business work, I can make money, but that's not the case. We need to be proving that we can solve a problem. Money follows solution. So if you're solving a certain problem, money will follow you. And we should not do this for money. Let's do it for solving the problem, because money is the byproduct of what you do every day. Money will not make you excited, but solving a problem will excite you. For those who are not going to say, you know, he's lying, or money can get you what you want to buy now and things like that, but it's not going to sustain the momentum of what is going to be, because if you are not getting that money, you might give up, you might stop, you might feel left out because you feel like this is not for us, there's certain people. But money is energy, and energy follows where there's solution. And you have to be designing solve their problems. And that's how you can grow your network. If the question that was asked, how do you grow your network and how do you find yourself increasing demand. I feel like demanding, people by people, demand is created by talking the solution that is solving each and everyone's problems day by day, and then you grow from there, and we need to be patient from it. Is there more question that?
Yes. Good day.
Yes, we can hear you, sir. Go ahead.
Oh, yes. Thank you very much. The person who's speaking now is Tabang Mamantsebe from Tabi Technologies Group. So I just want to ask
Nice.
Mr. Talifani,
Yes.
in terms of how do I avoid cyber spams in terms of, you see, at our company, we have a system that we are using. So we are trying to use to come up with a system that we can avoid all these spams on the machine. So I'm trying to ask, are these automated systems not going to, how can I put it? Are they not going to tamper with our machine, or is there any other form of systems that we can use, maybe that they are secure in terms of cyber security? I don't know if you understand my question. Thank you.
I do understand. So they, and obviously in this case, I will be talking from what I know about your type of business. I might not be in tune with everything, but if we are going to talk about how do we block some of the spams on our web places and things like that, and how do we secure our data that is coming in, we need to be so when we're talking about data that is within first, we need to be looking at what are partners that are there that can store my data safely, that I don't have to be checking my back, and I don't have to wonder whether my SQL will be getting through and things like that. But we should also be willing to pay a little bit, because there are platforms like Heroku. If you, I don't know if you use Heroku now, but these are platforms that allows you to do 3 times, 4 times authentications, allows you to store some of the documents that you are receiving from your customers. You can put them into archives where even your team can't even access the documents, because some of the spams, they also happen internally through people missing, not saving their passwords and allowing, and their machines are so exposed that person gets in through them. So we need to block authentications into the system, even to our internal employees, in a way that we have few guys, 1 to 2 guys, who authorize the access, so that we can move forward. If you're asking about automated processes that we can also use, there are some that I've seen, but when you are managing big data of large corporations, you don't want to use automated systems like that. I'm talking automated systems mainly on communication, on automating the process of work, but not managing clients' data, because that can come with a problem within that technology. You want to monitor it. You want to see how far it can go. You want to see whether they can store all your information, especially with AWS, Heroku, and the new partner we have now with, we've got a partnership with Huawei for cloud, and we're calling it X Cloud. So if you need, for example, you need space and you need locked space where you can use 3 times, 4 times authentication, we can assist on that. When it comes to the web-based, that goes to the SSL things and all those processes. But I think the main deep problem for cybersecurity is within your database, and that's where I think one platform you can look at is Heroku. Is much better. It stores your data better. You can also look at the AWS for cloud computing, and you can also. It's just that it comes with the cost as you go on. Like some of the machines we've bought online on AWS, for example, we can work on AWS and do every work without buying laptops inside the system. And those things comes with a cost. But for basic security, I would say Heroku is one of them that you can store your data and keep it safe.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Mr. Banks, there are some questions on the chat as well. I don't know if you want to look into those. And one of them, you've actually answered it already. There's one about, are there any systems one can use in the transport industry?
100%. I can talk about my system and I will add others. We've just recently launched, we are launching now Spaza Eats, which is a food delivery platform. It's a system that we built it in three-way technology. A customer talks to a restaurant talks to a driver. It's three-way communication. So if a customer is buying from a restaurant will accept the order, and then the driver will see the order, and then they will take the order and deliver. Same process can work in anything, whether it's Amazon, whether it's Take a Lot and others. A customer will order from a middleman, who is a retailer, but Take a Lot in this case, who's taking products from different merchants or different suppliers. The customer orders, and then Take a Lot sees the order accepted, and then when they accept it, the drivers will see the orders and pick them up. Is there a technology we can use now? 100%. The Amazon talks about grocery and large goods delivery. The Take a Lot does the same. Spaza Eats, my marketplace, does the fast food on-demand delivery. If you want to do parcel, you want to do grocery, you want to do fast food, you want to do taxi, these platforms exist already. And within Spaza Eats, we can provide that. So there's another platform we built called Jammy Trade. Jammy Trade is a continental trade platform. It's designed to ship products. Let's say you want to ship products to Rwanda, to Ethiopia, to Addis Ababa, and things like that. You can use Jammy Trade to trade. But Jammy Trade, we're still trying to get contracts because some countries still not yet accepting the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement. So they are still, as much as they have accepted it, but not in trade. In trade, there's still a lot of laws and legislations that removes trade. So for those type of companies, for those type of platforms, they are not there as much, but they are there. There is FX trade. There's many others that I've seen that I can share with you. I've got them on a presentation that are doing it. But if it depends on what type of transport and logistics you want to get into, because we can also build a technology for you that will allow you to trade. If you want to do it for personal deliveries and people bring goods to you, and then you do deliveries. That there's a platform called Jabu. Actually, Jabu does delivery here in the country in South Africa. You can check it out. Yeah.
Well, thanks, Mr. Banks. Tebogo, do you have a question? Sorry, I see you've had your hand up for a while, and I was not ignoring you. I was just reading the ones that are available. You can ask.
Yes. Thank you so much, Mr. Banks. Thank you again for, sharing the information that you've shared. I didn't know of the platform called video.ai, which actually speaks to pretty much what we do.
Okay.
So I'm from a tech startup called Snap. So we launched this year, and pretty much what we do is that we connect businesses and companies to a whole directory of photographers and videographers. So currently on our platform, we have just over 1,000
nice
photographers and videographers, mainly in Gauteng and Cape Town. We're still working on Durban and all the other provinces as well. Along with that, we built a SaaS platform that helps them with accounting, asset registry, building portfolios and all of that, because young creators struggle to
keep up with their work with the administration.
Yeah, and they have to pay for stage, they have to pay for this. Billing gets all the way to 1,000 rand. So we build an all-in-one system that starts from 120 rand a month. So with that much being said, you speak about Spaza Eats, and in my knowledge of Spaza shops, they're not really too good in imagery, right? So the first one is
100%.
How do you get Spaza shops to provide good imagery? And if there is no way that you're doing that, would you be willing to collaborate with us and our database of photographers? Two, I'm surprised you didn't talk about the biggest AI on the planet right now, which is ChatGPT. So I think from the discussion, I wanted to hear more about maybe how you guys have used ChatGPT in your daily lives. You know, for instance, I use it every day. I have it open right now. When I open my laptop, I open my email, business one and business two, because I have two companies. The third tab I open is always ChatGPT. Um, we built the basic system of our tech. I put that tech into ChatGPT and I told ChatGPT, how do we implement AI in our technology? It gave me 10 ideas of implementing AI into our tech, and we're actually building the first idea, which is taking quite some time. But yeah, AI is just something else. But
100.
I just want to understand, how are you using AI in your daily business? You know, do you use it to compose an email? Do you use it to do a sales pitch? Do you use it to do a proposal? Do you use it? I mean, I use it every day. I use it exactly for that. But I just wanted to know how are you using it, um, ChatGPT, and how it advising people how it can help in logistics, how to do sales, how to, you know, those kind of things. And secondly, would you be open to a collaboration from an imagery perspective between Snap? So it is SNAPE.app. So that's our website address. And yeah, would you be open to a collaboration from an image perspective? Because I follow you on LinkedIn and you mentioned that you guys have currently over 1,000 sponsors on your platform. Yeah.
Thank you so much, brother. I didn't think this conversation will get this exciting, and simply because I didn't know where to start. I don't know who's here. No. When I'm sitting with you, and then I can observe and navigate. But from my view, I don't see who's in here, so I don't see how far can I go. Firstly, I would like to say you are spot on about the spazas and restaurants that are in the location who are loading. We were supposed to launch tomorrow. Tomorrow is the launch day. I can tell you now, the biggest problem I have in the system, most of the images are not well presenting the platform to how we want it to be. Because we made it so functional, a guy in a restaurant in Marlborough would take a picture of a product. It's not enticing. So the platform is now filled with menus that are not clean. And that's why we're pushing the time now to launch Friday next week. And this is because the menus are not clean and we need to clean them up. We are going to be designing the menus, but there is also opportunity to shoot content on that. We just believe that there's so many restaurants that we will need, if we need to get a company like yours, we will need to see how we can strike that. Because I feel like the restaurant should be able to cover that. We can be a middleman to supply you with those merchants, and you take them content that they can save on Spaza Eats, not necessarily for it to be on Spaza Eats Coast, because they can use it for other things, but it's a spot on, and is what we are looking to do. How we are solving it internally, we are designing the menus. So if you're selling quota with egg and what, we're gonna make it look like that on the menus, because some of the menus are not that clean. And we are, for other restaurants like Busy Corners and what's this? All of these things that are the Balis and the Chef D's that we have, the guys are just going there driving and taking menus, but it's not going to be for all of, we can't sustain it. It's too many restaurants. So if you want to collaborate, I'm willing to chat about that. But can you imagine beyond us paying for it, because it's already the cost of Spaza is I'm willing to collaborate. Secondly, ChatGPT. I also have it probably on my third tab. It's everyday tab that I open, and the team as well, depending on what they're specializing on. On my side, I use ChatGPT to unpack a model or an idea that I have. I use it for writing letters. I use it for writing contracts. Then I summarize the contract, send it to our lawyer that does everything, because I want it done today. I use it to summarize the whole contract. So basically, for those who don't know what ChatGPT is, it's a platform that is like your consultant, online consultant. you don't have to be asking certain things to people. You can go on this platform and ask, how do I grow my LinkedIn account? How do I grow my business in this and this? But how you ask ChatGPT is the key. When you go to ChatGPT, and there's a platform, there's an add-on platform that you can look for. It's called KP. My laptop is off, so I'm using my phone. And fortunately, I'm always going to tell you, I use it all the time. I don't know why I don't know the full name. It's an add-on that I use on ChatGPT. It summarizes, I can write a book with it. I can write a book with the platform I use on ChatGPT. So what I'm trying to say is the questioning of the platform, how you put your statement is different. You must tell ChatGPT who you are and what what it is and what it's trying to do. So for example, let's say you want to draw a marketing campaign plan for Spaza Eats. You would say, hi, you would say you are a consultant at Spaza Eats. They've hired you for 5 days to build a marketing campaign plan that is going to be executed online and on the traditional media such as outdoor and TV. This presentation is going to be presented to the CEOs and what. Please write me a full detailed digital and then it gives you the whole presentation. Then you just assess whether this is what you want. A reason why I didn't talk about it is because I feel like most people already know. And that's the challenge we have sometimes, is that I probably know some things now that I might not be sharing because I just feel like it's not important. It's because you get exposed to so many things. And for those who are looking to use ChatGPT, please look into it and give it a character every time you ask for information. I think that's how you get your answers quickly and direct. Thank you.
Yeah, just to add, Mr. Banks, to what you just said, actually, I use it a lot to coach most of my entrepreneurs whenever they ask a question that I am not an expert in. I'm a finance guy, so if they ask me about finance, I'm likely to have a straight answer. But if they ask me about general business, particularly businesses that I have never worked in, I use ChatGPT. Some of our entrepreneurs that I hear, they know I actually use it live so that they can see there's no reason why your mind should be used for the thinking strategy. The 100%. Writing of stuff 100%. Is not about it. Yeah, anyway, 100%. That's Vusani, you have the floor. Vusani, you have the floor.
In the Banks. Yeah, I know we'll be together tomorrow if the launch is still happening in Bram.
It's still happening. It's happening.
So my question to you, you spoke about building a demand with the product that you are trying to bring to market. So currently, I'm trying to make sure that I give people quality meat at their household at their convenience. But I think for the longest time, I've been working too much on building that platform and building the shop, making sure I've got the right equipment for production. But one area that I think I have overlooked is the actual building that demand, making sure that people, making sure that I leverage technology to build a demand and make sure that people know I exist, people know that I've got quality meat, people know how
your meat to a point where you don't have space.
Yes. So I need just if you could just give me advice in terms of technology. How do I put in place systems that I can use on a daily basis to make sure that I am building that demand and demand grows every single day so that it makes it easier for me to then scale?
Okay, nice question. Thank you. I've had a chance to buy from Vusani's meat app platform. I buy actually every month and I love the meat. He's a good meat. He's a meat guy for me. And I would always recommend you for meat. But how many more people like me knows that Vusani does this? How many more people can do this? And what I'm trying to say is, before I answer you, I would say this about Spaza Eats. If you go on Twitter now and say Spaza Eats, the platform is not yet out, my man. There's over 4 million 4 million tweets that are saying, I can't wait of launch. 10 orders per minute for 8 hours. That's what I'm doing. That's the target. I put on billboards, and these billboards, I'm investing on them before making money or what. It's not about making money for me. It's about building awareness, building the demand. As soon as I launch, even your friend will be telling you if you know about Spaza Eats and if you have bought on Spaza Eats, because I've built attraction. I've built the talk around it. I have built it in such a way that people make it sounds fun. It's like DSTV back in the days. If you didn't have DSTV, you were like a poor makes you buy your girlfriend a quarter on it. So when it comes to meat, how do you sell a story in a way that makes people order meat from you? How do you sell meat or show organic fresh meat in such a way that people crave your meat instead of Checkers or Pick and Pay? I have to be telling people stories. Am I back
Mr.
now?
Banks
Sorry.
yeah, I think you're on mute there. Hey, you're telling us a good story.
Sorry.
Don't be on mute now.
Sorry, my man, it's network. So how do I narrate a story that makes people want to buy meat from Meat App? Here's the thing. We have to build a strong narrative about meat. What type of meat can people eat? And what is making people eat certain meat? Why are they eating only chicken? Why certain meats? What type of benefits do you get from certain meats? That's your story. Your story is narrating meat stories. And that makes you a meat guy. Then which platform do I use? We have to look at platforms that allows you to your message to come across and allows people to buy, to build a buy-in. Your meat platform for me can work on LinkedIn. It's a buying market, and can work on Instagram and TikTok and them. And actually, it works across all platforms. But what are you talking about? You should appear as a person who solves meat problems, who talks about different types of meat, and he's always supplying fresh meat. And every time before he delivers meat to someone, he must show the meat he's got in the basket and what type of meat he's got and why it's fresh. It's like that. You can show off about things like that, like my type of, hey, I don't know why people don't want you to hear this message.
Yeah, you know, African sciences, eh? They don't want us to grow.
African science. So the key part is understanding the assignment of what you are trying to get, how you're going to build the demand. The assignment is you need to appear as a meat guy who gives us meat advices and meat and different types of meat that we need to try. So as you do that, you will create attraction on different people who are interested to meet, and they will want to ask different questions. It means now you are building the network of meat lovers and people who are interested on meat. Then you start showing how you are making progress and what type of customers you have, which corporates you are working with, and which individuals have signed a subscription for you monthly. If you can start talking about me as your customer and many others, how many more would want to be part of your customers? Because as soon as I remember, we were in an office, I'm ordering your meat, you came to the office, and Anthea is there. She's from PPC Cement. As soon as she saw your meat, she came in, she said, I want the same bucket from this man. Please tell him I want the same thing. She was not exposed to you. If she was exposed to you, she will be buying, and many others like her would be buying from you. So what should we be doing? Let's leverage social network platforms that will allow you to speak about different types of meat and what type of meat you sell and what separates you from everyone else.
Thank you, Mr. Banks. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
I love
brother.
that. Do we have another question? We lost, oh yeah, the network, even myself, I kept losing Mr. Banks quite a few times. Mr. Banks, thank you for sharing your wisdom. And you spoke a lot and emphasized a lot on creating demand. I would like you to just give our entrepreneurs some tips on how they can go about creating that demand for their product or service.
Thank you so much. So let me start from my experience and now we are running 4 companies, Analytics X, Plaza Eats, Analytics Advertising, and Jammy Trade. All these companies were not like this when we started. The first company that got us into market is Analytics Advertising. And when I'm building Analytics Advertising, I'm 28, 29. I'm working in corporates and I'm saying, I can build you a technology, I can build you a data pipeline for a large corporation. Do you honestly think a PPC cement would buy into my story to build them a technology for that largest corporation? 100% no. I learned there that there's something missing in us. We don't have it, and we need to allow ourselves that we need to learn. I realized that business is about network. Business is about influence. What type of influence do you have in your category? When people talk about your category, do you somehow appear somewhere top 5? If the answer is no, it means you haven't played your part to build the demand and increase influence. And because of that, you will not make money within that pie. If the pie, the big pieces was for 5 people, you are good. So how do you get into the big 5 pieces? You have to be talking information that makes you stand out, makes you the first. And how do you become the first? Just like Colgate in toothpaste, just like Sunlight in dishwashing liquid, you have to be coming with a story that makes you different, or you have to create a new category. For example, how many cars do we know? There's so many cars. There's so many cars that a person would say, your business is already known. Do you know what is different? The other car is for A to B. The other car is for health, for safety. That's a Volvo. The other car is for speed. The other car is for class. The other car is for what? Those are categories. When you are creating your own car, which category does it fall in? You have to know this because you have to penetrate a certain market. If you are creating your car to be in the safety space, it means in the safety space, you must stand out. And that's your voice. So now, when we're coming about how do you create a voice that makes you stand out? How do you create the demand? You need to identify a niche that makes you the first or the few that are influential in that category. In the data science category, how many entrepreneurs can you name without naming me? I am there, my brother, top 5 somewhere. Probably top 1 because I'm winning an award in Dar es Salaam on the 3rd of August. So how do I become that person? Is because I started speaking technology and speaking data science in a way that helps this large corporation solve their problem. This is how they started calling me. Can you help us? And that's how I'm building a technology for PPC, South Africa, for Rwanda, for Botswana, and etc. That's how I'm building a solution for Saint-Gobain. These are companies that I would never, ever thought in my mind I can walk in them. What did I do different? I created the demand that makes me stand out. Now, when I talk about technology, it's obvious. I just had a meeting with MTN now. They are asking me to put, to collaborate. I don't want to say because I don't know which platforms are my broadcast, and I don't want to say all of, but how is it that I get to speak to MTN about looking at where I'm coming from? Is because I created the demand. In your business, how you should create the demand. Find a category that makes you stand out. In that category, start telling stories. Start narrating stories about your category in a way that makes you special. That's why you find an influencer who's not even very smart standing out. Why is it that they're standing out? It's because in their category of beauty, they stand out because they talk beauty way more than anybody else in that room. And it does not matter whether they are smartest. Makazi does not have to be the smartest person. When it comes to that type of music, it's her category. When it comes to farming, what makes you stand out? Because everybody else is farming. When you are talking meat, it needs to come off in a way that nobody does it better than you. That's how you build the network. And how you build it, narrate your stories in key platforms. You don't see me on Twitter. You don't see me on Facebook. But on LinkedIn, I'm one of the biggest names. Why? Because on LinkedIn, I'm relevant. I can speak and you can hear me. I'm talking to professionals. If I am a professional and I'm talking to people on Twitter, do you know what is going to be the response? He's stupid. He thinks we want to make money for it. You know what I mean? It's the platform also. Have you categorized the platform that will allow your message to transcend? You don't see me on Facebook. It's not because I can't be there. It's mainly because my message won't transcend. I might appear stupid. I might appear dumb. I might not get the largest corporation on Facebook. So it's not my target market. But on LinkedIn, when I say something, Luyanda or Vusani is like, because that's what gets me to large corporation. After that business, we managed to create other products, Spaza Eats, Jammy Trade, and now with Analytics X, I've created a partnership now with Huawei, with Pick and Pay, and now I've got a meeting with Mastech next week. And Mastech is huge. I need to be supplying those batteries, those laptops. I would never have thought in my mind I can talk to Mastech. What have I done differently? When it comes to technology and data science, I will stand out and I will go in every region that allows me to be. That's why I'm here now. I'm talking to entrepreneurs who are doing different things. I create time for this because it allows me to talk what I do and share knowledge, create a network and enlarge the energy of our ecosystem.
Wow. I'm so motivated. I feel like a kid right now. Luyanda Cele, you have the floor, sir.
Thank you.
Mr. Cele, you have the floor. Why Mr. Cele
Yes, good day, sir.
Yes, good day.
Yes, good day to everyone. My name is Luyanda Cele, coming from Tria's Legacy. We produce perfumes. My brand is Edison Kuvari. I wanted to ask. Yes. Do you know an AI tool that can create a financial plan? Thank you.
ChatGPT can give you a financial plan. You mean like a system that can automate your financial process? Or
yes.
And there are many systems, but I would recommend Sage for now to be safe, because Sage will allow you to make payments and process your things. And in financial year, you don't need an accountant to be checking everything every month. But then you can download this financial report that you go now to an accountant and it summarizes the financial statement for you. Sage will allow you to automate your process of transaction, in, out, what other things that are involved in, tax, how much. You are able to record all your information. And I think Sage can automate way better than others. But if you want to start small, we started with QuickBooks. QuickBooks is also good, but does not automate some of the processes, especially when it comes to financial statements and things. So you will still be needing an accountant every 3 months, 4 months and stuff like that to make you a financial statement if you want to buy things and stuff like that. But if you use Sage, you automate that process.
Yes, sorry to interrupt you. Sorry. If maybe I'm writing a business plan, so I want this AI tool that will create that projection, if I may say so. Yes, a financial plan projection.
No, I haven't. I haven't got to that level because I don't do anything of finance.
Can I, Mr. Tele, can I recommend someone for you?
You can take it.
There's a lady who normally does some of these masterclasses or Google Funding Connection, and she does this. I think she charges about $500 for that assessment and financial projection, but I'm not sure. You'll have to engage with them directly. Her name is Dagmar Marais, so you can Google Funding Connection. I think most of everyone who's here, they've seen her. As far as I'm aware, Mr. Banks can correct me, I don't think there is a financial tool that will do financial projection, particularly for presentation that you are trying to get investment from, because that is actually quite detailed. You need a lot of background in terms of that. Yes, ChatGPT will perhaps give you what it is that you need to be looking for and looking at. But the actual detail of it, I can't think of any tool that will do that. In support to what Mr. Bank has just said, if you are an early startup, Sage does have a very small legal package for early startups that you can actually start to use, and it's easy to change some of the columns that they have. Anyway, I said too much.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
No,
So
but
can you please,
you feel that. Thank you.
okay, thank you very much. Once at the spelling of, is it Sage, S-A-I-G-E, or
Sage is S-A-G-E.
Sage, isn't Sage?
S-A-G-E.
Sage as Sage. Mawuqhumisa endlini
S-A-
lomnyama. Yeah.
Okay, okay,
Impepho.
thank you.
Impepho. Sage as S-A-G-E.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Okay. Aphiwe, you have the floor.
Good day, everyone. My name is Aphiwe. My surname is Mkhamba. I am a debt counselor and also an owner to a personal finance company. So I've been listening to everything that has been said, which is very, very useful for most of us. I just wanted to find out from the gentleman that, is there any way that he can assist companies that deals with personal finance for individuals and business? Is there a system that maybe they can help us in terms of establishing those demand with people, because we deal with people's debts, we deal with clearing scores, we deal with everything to negotiate and review your credit accounts, everything to do with your personal finance. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I love what you do, because at the moment, South Africa and the continent needs those services. We are going through a lot and we're missing payments and all of that. So we need somebody to talk for us. So thank you for that. I've got a chance to help a company that is within debt counseling. Within the system itself, I think you need a centralized system that a person that is your customer can just log in and see how far your process is, because their challenge when I was working with them, they get information and the person pays and stuff like that. They get to talk to, and is it NCR or to the creditors. As they are going through that process, whether it takes 3 weeks, the person who's the customer is not aware of that process and things that is going on. So they end up calling in, complaining. Can we have a system that automates the process? When I log in my profile, I can see what stage you are in. The stage now we are talking to creditors. The stage now we are this and that. Your things will be cleared. You are on debt review finally, or this and that. Can we have a system that automate that? That is the customer system that I feel like it's a need. If you're working individually one by one, it's also frustrating. If you're taking calls one by one, the lady was telling me, I get to deal, we have helped over 10,000 people in 3 years, and I get to deal with each and every one of them with my team. We are only 8. And I'm listening to that, I'm like, that's wonderful, but can't we just automate that process and have customers complaining on the system and sharing their complaints or knowledge in the system? Then we get back to them. It's a query. And that system, we can build it for you if you need it. Secondly, when it comes to accessing credit profile, we have partnered with TransUnion, and we have also partnered with a new company that, okay, we haven't signed contract yet, but they want me to sign the contract of credit. It's a credit company that with TransUnion alone, I can access people's credit. Also, you guys here, all of you, I can access how much you owe an hour. But I'm restricted to know how far I can go because of the contracts and things like that. And our team is restricted and they've signed the NDA. So we through that collaboration, we can create a system connection through to your system, where now when you just type an ID of a customer, it pulls out all the relevant information you need about that customer on your dashboard. So this system will be built in a way that a customer logs in, see their user profile and how far they are, but on your end, you see the dashboard of every customer. You just filter per customer and you have a view of where this customer is and you get to help them. That's internal. How do you create demand for that? if you have a system like this that is connected in the back end to check profiles, you can now create. Okay, let me give you an example before I answer. I created a system for an automobile company because customers were no longer working in the dealership. They were now working from home. The system could show a nice car, and customers from their home, they could click in a simple form to see if they qualify. But that simple form included an ID that allowed us to access their profile to see whether they can qualify or not. When this data goes back to the sales agent, it was a pre-qualification dashboard that gives them whether these customers are the ones they can call. These ones were declined. It means they don't have to call them. It's similar to yours. The customers that are coming to you, they can, in a way that you advertise, in a way you communicate, there can be a link that allows you to know that customer before you work with them. So when you get the dashboard and the data of new customers coming in, you can analyze them before you call them, so that you don't call anyone. Something like that. When it comes to how to promote it, people are in debt. Just go out and say, guys, we understand you are in debt. I'm here to help you. I can help you clean up your debt. I can help you manage your credit. I can help you manage your savings. I can help you get out and be debt-free. Give me a call. I'll help you. Things like that. I think we are missing narrating the true story. Let's just be ourselves. Talk as if you're talking to your neighbor and go online. You'll see.
You know what? It's so important to what you just said. When you open the call, by the way, when you open the call, you were actually, I think you were talking to Aphiwe literally, because you said that, just tell the truth. What is it that you do? How the customer will derive value from that, and don't try to use fancy language that might confuse them. I think that's you hit the money on that. Nico, you have the floor. Nico and my son, Nico, there's Nico here. Nico, unmute yourself. While Nico is trying to unmute, go ahead, Nico.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Hi, everyone, and thank you, Mr. Banks, for the session. Mr. Banks, I'm interested in your delivery system. I do not know how to get hold of you, but I'm sure Kolila will help me with that. Secondly, you know, some of us, we are BBTs. That means we were born before technology. So whenever there's this technology thing that we need to try on, we panic, we shut down.
Yes,
how can we deal with that fear? Do you have any advice? Hence you are on it and you are a guru of. Can you help us, give us more advice? How do we become comfortable with technology? Thank you.
Okay, let me start here. Thank you for the question. When you hear them saying fourth industrial revolution, it's just a fancy word. First industrial revolution was when these guys wanted to automate the process of dams, because because it was times of farming. The water didn't have a centralized platform where you can access water. So they needed to automate that process. Then they say this is the first industrial revolution, where now you're going to have a central point where you're going to have dams where you can collect water, especially in regions where there's no water, there's scarcity of water. That's the first industrial revolution. The second industrial revolution, you are hearing about production. Back in the days, we used to farm and all of these things. Now you have automated process of water, but not all of us are going to be able to make our own maize. Can we automate the process of maize, the process of production? So we just don't produce 1 per day. Now we automate, we produce 100 per day. That's the second industrial. That's where you see manufacturing. That's where you see people sitting together on a line, working. After this one does this, and that's the second industrial revolution. And the industrial of electricity. The industrial of electricity is also happening in the same time of the second one, where now we are no longer using fire. We are trying to get into electricity. But at the time, so many of us and so many people were still fighting that, okay, so it means that now I won't have a job because now I'm not going to be able to go pick up the wood. So you want me to now lose a job because there won't be wood that I will be picking. What they are not realizing at the time is that electricity will help you do other things. You no longer have to pick the woods. And you go to the third industrial revolution, which is now internet. This is where now desktop. Back in the days, people there used to be this machine that you type a question paper with. I don't know if you guys remember. This machine that you type in, you can't even reverse. You can't even reverse the words. It used to be you press like this. There were teachers who are saying, why are you removing this thing? You bring in this computer things, the word and what, that we do not even know. You want us to be unemployed. We have been doing this for so many times. What they are not understanding is the new system that is coming on the third industrial process of typing words and all of that. In that time, it does not make sense that the system is coming to help us to automate the current ways of existing. As it comes, it means the guys who are typing like this, they will lose jobs. The guys who are typing like this will lose jobs, but there will be new jobs created. In the fourth industrial revolution, we are no longer now finding a new revolution. We are scaling internet. We are going from where internet was. Now you can open many pages. You can do so many machines within internet. It shouldn't come off as if it's coming to replace humans. No technology will ever be able to compete with the human factor. The only time we can compete with technology is when we're trying to do what technology can do. When you are trying to type what it can already be typed by ChatGPT, what I can advise is this. We need to learn, we need to start teaching ourselves to be, as much as it's uncomfortable for most of us. How do we adapt to start using the current technology, to start focusing on things that we have to do a day? For example, you don't have to be typing anymore. You don't have to type. You go to ChatGPT, you ask for it to type for you. Then you just correct. And then you go and place you can type a document within 15 minutes. Even if you didn't go to school for this thing, even if you were born before the system technology. In fact, this technology of now is to help you because you don't have to type anymore. You don't have to even type fast. You can compete with a person who have graduated with a PhD right now, who knows how to type fast, who knows how to think fast. That person, you can compete with them now if you use ChatGPT. You go on your website, you type ChatGPT, and then you get this thing, you save it as a favorite. You ask it, please type for me a marketing plan for my business that is doing this and this. Please write it in full detail. It will give you all information. The information you get is the same as the guy who have a PhD in marketing. He will write the same thing that you will get. You use the same information because you know that you are not from school and you're not from technology. You have an advantage because you know that you have nothing to lose. You have to give it your best. Use your age to leverage the network. Go to people in those companies, say, I couldn't have sent my document. I wanted to come by myself because I don't know how to use this technology. When they read your information, it will be the same as that guy. It will be the same. Let me tell you, we just need to find out what can I use that I can use right now. But the modern day technology is for people like you. I swear to you, it's for simplifying your work.
Wow, sir. Okay, I'm not going to be taking any more questions. I think right now, remember, Mr. Banks, in 2 weeks, he'll be back on this seat again in the hot seat, exploring more about technology and the subjects. Don't worry, everyone will get an invite by Monday. Hopefully by Monday, I would have done that. And Mr. Banks, I'm humbled and thank you for, number one, to just being generous with your time, being generous to take my calls, even irritatingly so, and just me harassing you.
We are called to serve. We are called to serve.
Oh, for sure, man. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm humbled to be a servant to you. Without you, my life matters not. I think the foundation exists because you do exist. We thank you for attending. Facebook, goodbye. I know it's going to shut me down anytime soon. Load shedding is about to hit. Mr. Banks, thank you. I'll be in touch with you by Monday. Everyone, goodbye.